This is a real-side dream and an experience from what I call the in-betweeny state, the state where I am between sleep and wakefulness. It can also be maintained and is an interesting practice to do so, for to remain in the in-betweeny state, one must put all thought processes and emotion aside, and effectively we can see then it is in fact maintaining a state of awareness, of being isness. So a good practice to maintain, to see and be, and objectively regard phenomena that manifests, to see what we can recognize of the ears also. Anyway, also what I do prior to sleep has a bearing on my real side dreams. I've mentioned that anything that makes sense from an awareness perspective and benefit before sleep will more often produce real-side demonstrations and experiences. Anything of a personal nature and the real-side experiences are lessened, or maybe had after we have purged some of the physical level debris, effects that we take on by watching TV as an example, something for the personal self more so. Hence I try to avoid the TV before bed, but on this occasion I had watched the new Stephen King's It film, Part 2, at the cinema prior to sleep, and the real side dreams that followed were very intense, very difficult to determine exactly as to the details, but the themes were very dark, along the lines of those portrayed in what was on the surface a relatively harmless movie. And then I was frequently switching to the in-betweeny state, and phenomena was bleeding through from the dream arena and manifesting in my room, as is commonplace with the in-betweeny state if we emerge into it from sleep. Again, phenomena of a dark and disturbing, for the personal self anyway, nature. Back and forth I would go between sleep and the in-betweeny state, and the same dark themes, evidently stemming from the movie, perpetuated. We know how movies, computers, televisions, etc. are black magic and distortion, windows and glimpses into other realities and dimensions, made manifest by the focus and agreement that brings them into being, and how, with enough focus, an individual can potentially find themselves in these worlds, portrayed on the movie screens, projecting into future lifetimes, and creating these future positions for themselves. I've seen such worlds on the real side, resembling computer games and fantasy worlds that people align with and their personal selves hold dear. Also, the movies are full of subliminals, designed to subconsciously program us into agreements via the ethereal vehicle, agreements that maintain the control that the authoritarians have over their human slaves. agreement to these subliminals, having us then subconsciously subject to the resulting cause and effect, which yields very limited, controlled experience, and endless future lifetimes of servitude therefore. Also, what we align with, what we focus upon, are not just simply ideas and creations of others that have us the effect of them on the physical level, but we can find ourselves aligning with the lower astral if whatever we are agreeing with is of a nature in keeping with this place. The heavy metal music as an example, how it has those listening to it aligning with demonic entities from the lower astral, and the projecting cause and effect resultingly that may have them transitioning from the physical when they do, and finding themselves in these lower areas of the astral as their next position. It would seem movies will have the similar effect, particularly if they are of a decidedly dark nature. This dream then would demonstrate how movies are packed with the sort of subliminals for agreement and programming purposes that can have us aligning ourselves with worlds and areas of the psych realms that resemble the nature of what we watch. Perhaps were I lacking awareness, I would not have experienced such a strong real side demonstration and experience that stemmed from this particular movie, as awareness affords one the ability to see more, to see beyond the surface world of the seemingly harmless movies, and to glimpse the thought forms created, the parts of creation aligned to, the sort of beings we may connect with resultingly, such as demonic type characters and entities. But of course, if we are aware and stand real in the new nowness of the ears, if we decide this for ourselves, we are effectively beyond cause and effect creation, and so such an experience as this will be just that, an experience. We can objectively view it, not be the effects of it. Unless we choose to be, then we are the conscious effect, and it is just another experience. And all experiences, regardless of their nature, can afford viewpoints and comparisons to better recognize the is, but definitely an example of the potential power of subliminals. And all these horror-orientated movies may certainly have the unaware individual position themselves in very dire circumstances from the cause and effect that stems from the agreement to very dark and lower astral aligning themes and ideas. And as you say, Dwayne, how they have blatantly hijacked what was the word that once referenced the true reality, the word it, and with this sequel evidently containing some very serious dark subliminals, the word it surely now is dragged not only into the physical astral, but more so into the dark recesses of the lower astral, I would suggest, and references now this very dismal, and forbidding area of the psych realms. That endeth dream number 1.
Oh, that's very, very good. Yes, to see things objectively, we go through all these experiences. So the good, the bad, the right, the wrong, the hurt, the pain, the drama. It's all okay because it adds up. So again, we are all free beings of real light already, and we're standing in the reality because life is an isness. We are already complete. Everything is what it is. Okay, it's not a finale, but it's endless. But to recognize that we go through what we do in creation to eventually see what we already is. This is so cool about it. So what we're going through, but you need the reference material. We'll say knowledge, but you need the reference material and some guidance. Just like our parents, guided us along. This is an example until we get to a real position, especially in the world today. But you and the kids, just totally excellent what you're doing and how you're defining this, and uh, having the world, allowing the world to see this also. Everybody really needs help because, again, we're all free beings of real light. Everybody is. It's just that the distortion is covered so much. So this is our adventure too, as we become more aware and earn our way. Again, excellent. Thank you so much.